My portion of this event is very personal in the fact I knew Lee for 30 years and I'm very interested in seeing exactly what Lee collected. However, the folks at Auction America have asked me specifically to care for the 22 stellar rare motorcycles in the collection. Right now I'm going to jump in, get some air in the Indian 4 motorcycle, roll it out, and the first rare motorcycle in Lee's collection will see the light of day for the first time in over 50 years. The one thing I wanted to share with you is part of our goal, whoever ends up the next owner of this machine, we want them to have all the original dust. None of these bikes will be cleaned or disturbed in any way. No patina will be disturbed, so whoever is the next owner of this machine is certainly going to get the real deal. What we're going to do right now is we're going to see if this bike will start. Well, we've got the first bike out, and I've done a quick inspection. The engine does turn over, and I've got the thing hot wired, got a little 6-volt battery charger hooked up. This is not a full fendered Indian 4, it's the rare year, 1938. The bike looks to be relatively intact, and got the cool Crocker steering dampener, a lot of cool stuff. I've got gas in it right now. I've got the battery charger hooked up. Let's see if she runs. You know, Lee told me that he drove nearly every machine in that building into the building. The 1938 Indian 4, a real testament to what Lee said. One of the bikes Lee was particularly proud of is this Henderson, and I believe he has an old tag on it, 1926 Henderson. It's called a deluxe model, and this was actually a Glenview Fire Department done in red. It's got a siren. We're going to get some stuff moved around here, pull the old Henderson out, and we're going to give it the same treatment. We're going to try to get this machine started. We're going to see what it's going to do. Lee was very proud of this bike, and I'm pretty proud to be the one pulling it out of his shed. Well, we've gone through the same process, or starting to go through the same process in Henderson. I checked out the toolbox. Looked like a few of the tools that Lee had used when he worked on the bike. Also, I checked out the original safety kit, full of the original supplies. I think this Henderson will start right up. Give it a shot, Jeff. I don't know how many folks have ever had the experience of dragging old bikes out of the barn, but I can assure you one thing. Your heart rate goes to 180, blood pressure goes up. I don't believe this bike will run. The engine does turn over. Looks relatively complete. Looks like it's missing a sprocket and a chain and a couple pieces. The KJ Henderson's always quite rare, 1929 to 31. We're gonna roll this one out in the trailer, get it ready for the next owner. Well, the sign on Lee's bike says 1937 Indian 4, and of course I looked the bike over in 37, the 4-cylinder, the upside down 4 had 2 carbs. This is a single carb model. I believe it's a 36, extremely rare machine. Only just a handful of 36 and 37 upside down 4s were ever built. You know, if you look at the amp gauge, and you can see the amp gauge work, tells you that a lot of electrical systems working. The tail light is working. And, we'll give it a shot and see if it'll start right up. Well, in 3 little kicks, the upside down 4 started and ran. I couldn't tell you if the generator works, but the motor's running, it's not froze up. Probably will go through the gears. Another incredible find here at Lee Hartung's. Well, the 20 Series Excelsior was a pretty exemplary bike, and not a lot of these bikes made. At the time that Excelsior was building these bikes, they were also at Schwinn right here in Chicago building the Henderson 4. Very few 20 Series Excelsiors. I believe there's 2 here. The one thing I noticed about this bike, first of all, is in excellent condition. Actually, you can see some of the old decal. It looks like it'd be mainly in original shape. Now, this is an electric model. It's not just a mag model. So up in the front, you've got a generator, magneto. You can see all the contraptional stuff here, and it looks like it all works. If you look at that marking, it says H Special. Right there, H Special. When these machines were being built, they were 61 cubic inches. This one being marked H Special, I believe, is their 74 cubic inch hot rod Excelsior. I have never seen another H Special 20 Series Excelsior, and looking this bike over, not a chip on the fins, everything is intact and it's loaded with accessories. Well, that's 4 out of 5. We're going to go in here and get an old Harley 45 out, one of my favorite motorcycles. I think with a little bit of work, we'll have this bike running in no time. Another bike in running condition. I think that's 5 out of 6 at the Hartung Collection. We're gonna go back in, find another rare machine. What you have to remember is the bikes that we're running today are not your ordinary common motorcycles. These are actually quite rare machines, the Hendersons. We're gonna be into some of the Indian bikes and the Flying Merkle shortly, but I'm really glad the old Harley 45 started. One of my favorite bikes.